Hey, Helen.
We love today
know,
in
it's
the
quite
school
exciting.
holidays. How's this, eh?
It's very exciting. We're hoping that some people are going to join us quite soon and that you're going to be interacting with us today, which will be a first for us, really.
It'll be wonderful.
We normally only have one spectator.
Yes, and we did warn you today. So if you don't log in today, make jolly sure you log in tomorrow, please.
Yeah. Well, how are they going to know if they logged in today or not?
Because they'll watch it later on when they're lying on their bed tonight, like I do, playing on my phone and see, oh, there was a broadcast today. Let me see what coach in the class had to say. And then they'll look at us and say, oh, I missed it. What a fool.
And I had such a good question I wanted to ask.
Yep. So you have to save all your questions for tomorrow.
I like that. I like that we're going to be that we've got somebody or some bodies, hopefully more than one, interacting with us today and asking us some questions. We are going to try and answer the questions live. We've never done that before either.
But we can do this and we want to do this.
We're very excited about doing this. And you know what? It was fortuitous that schools, our government schools closed a little bit early because we'd been talking about doing something like this and we weren't sure kind of where to put it because, you know, government schools were on holiday and then private schools weren't and then private schools were on holiday and now we had
we're all on holiday. When you say
Cyril.
When you said it was fortuitous, for me it was a lot nicer than fortuitous because we really needed this time off. Eh?
That's true. I think for a lot of people they felt like they were in week
whoop,
15.
And I mean the fact that he announced that schools were breaking up on Wednesday and we could only stop on Friday. It was like, oh no, 2 more days.
I know, but at least you were at school on your own then. You weren't trying to supervise.
And it was actually awesome to do some planning, meet together as grades, think about next term and then also say, look, are we coming back? Aren't we coming back? And that was the whole big question. And I think we all think we're coming back, but
at least you could prepare. So you could send stuff home with the kids.
So we did, we sent all the textbooks and everything home just in case we have a little, what do we call that, 2.0?
Yes, a little further lockdown extension.
Yeah.
And it's amazing as well how we can learn from our experiences. So last year we were kind of unprepared and it was a big scramble and how do you and what can you do? And now we're kind of getting into the rhythm of, it's a lockdown. We put these things in place and this is how we operate.
And we're just so much better prepared this time. I mean, everybody now has got at least a minimal part of sort of Google Classroom or emailing or something, or sending the textbooks home so that, you can somehow WhatsApp your kids and say, read page 26 in the textbook or whatever,
Exactly.
Because we are 2.0. We should have learned from the first time around.
You'd think we'd learned from our previous experiences.
Well, we certainly learned because we were out there telling everyone how to teach more creatively. And now we've written the lessons for you more creatively because we were also stuck at home and being hyperactive bunnies, we had to do something.
And it's amazing because suddenly we've had a lot more interest in our Coach in the Class material for term 3. And it's possibly this, the thought of like, we're going to have to do something. What if we go?
Are we prepared? Well, we certainly are. As you know, all our lessons are ZTech for schools that have no technology. And then, of course, Tech Loaded we're using all the sorts of programs that we teach you every day. And in fact, the lesson we're going to do today or the demo is from the grade 6 geography, history, grade 5 history for next term, where they are using Egypt and they're going to be using the map work from this Google Earth. And we all know about Google Earth, which we're going to go into today, but there's just so much more. As always, when you explore it, it's like, whoa, is this really capable,
Okay, should we get started?
Yes, definitely. Awesome. So that was our little intro, just to tell you where we are.
So I hate to tell you this, our intro didn't play. Should we try again?
Okay, let's
try again. Did it play? Do you think it played?
What a cool little intro that you created there.
Yeah, amazing. So we're going to head over to my computer now. So Helen's going to be in charge of switching screens.
That is so dangerous. I think we just need to go to the full screen, and that's where we are. But yeah, that is a good idea that we actually do go to the full screen, and we'll come back to us if we need to. So without further ado, let's go and look at Google Earth, Rob, before you go there, as opposed to Google Maps. I love Google Maps because I don't get lost anymore.
Yeah. So I tell you, Google, I thought Google Maps and Google Earth were the same thing. And I was trying to find a way to kind of bring some edtech into our Egypt and the map work and whatever, and link in some geography. And I accidentally landed on Google
instead of Google Maps, where you plan to go. Yeah,
totally. I had a completely different idea in mind, and then I found Google Earth, and Google Earth is amazing. So I want to share it.
Let's go and have a look.
Okay, so how do we get to Google Earth? Typing it into the search bar, and it brings up this address here, earth.google.com. Now, earth.google.com is it's a desktop, what's a web-based app. You can download a desktop app, or you can download an app onto your mobile device as well. So, but this the actual web app is the best way to link into Google Earth. So here's what Google Earth looks like. Surprisingly, there's a big Earth there. And what is super cool is that you can zoom out quite a lot and see the world in space. And I love this idea that you can twist the Earth around, and you can really go look at the South Pole, because I think often when we have globes in the classroom, you don't actually get to see what the South Pole looks like. So this is really cool. You can go and have a look there. And of course, you can also see, as you pull the Earth around with your mouse, you can see the stars in the background as well. So you can see the different constellations
that are relevant. That is so awesome.
Is it not cool?
Yeah.
Is it not cool?
The best.
I love it. Okay, so just to go through what are the features of Google Earth and how could you use them. If you've got a Google account, you sign in there, and it brings up as your account, so you can see we're operating on our Coach in the Class account today. And there are all these little tools down the left-hand side, and I quickly want to go through each of them and show you how they work. So search is pretty simple. We can search a place in South Africa or anywhere in the world. I want to know a little bit more about Bangkok. I heard that there's something going on there, and I want to know where in the world that is. So it's basically, it takes me into Bangkok. I can see where it is in the world, and it zooms in quite closely. And while I'm there, it brings up these little information cards. And I'm going to show you a little bit later about how we're going to use those. But if you open the information card, there's a whole load of information about Bangkok, some places to visit, etc. So you might want to have a little, just a where should we go today search on Google Earth, and or you're reading something and you want to know where it is. So that's how you would use the search function. Now, Voyager is pre-curated material that is on Google Earth. And there are a whole lot of options to have a look at the bottom here. So nature's the first one. If we scroll down, there's a lot of things that we could use in geography here and science. Things like the heat island effect, solar energy, fragile beauty, changing environments, etc. So lots of different things.
And I like that sources of energy that I just saw. That's awesome.
Exactly. And so you can go into each of these and go and explore a little bit. I'm not going to spend time going into each one because that's going to waste time. I loved this one. Games with a little bit of something to them. So I clicked on this one just because I wanted to see what happened, and it takes you into hopefully sometime today. It's going very slowly. Let me try again. Oh, there it went.
Yeah, it's going. I saw on the top.
Okay, so you can go into the quiz, and it allows you to actually go and play a game in here. Don't know why it's going very slowly. Okay, So basically, there's little quizzes on that particular games thing, and it's all pre-curated material, so you can go and have a look at all of that. Sorry, my computer's decided that it's going to be very slow. Not sure why.
That's awesome, though. And if you just go and fiddle there all the time, you'll be able to see all of these amazing things that are coming up.
Totally. So,
and, I mean, that in itself is just to go and spend some holiday time fiddling in that. What is it called again? Voyager and Games.
Yeah. So you're going to go into games. Sorry, it's just really not loving me at the moment. Let's see if we can reload it. That might help us. Apologies for the delay. That's what happens when you go live. Hey,
but it's awesome. Yeah. so okay, here we're going back to where we would be with all the things along the side. So we're looking at all the toolbars along the side to find out which ones would be useful and which ones wouldn't be.
Exactly, and how we could use them in the classroom.
Definitely.
And this is an incredibly, as with everything Google, it's an incredibly powerful program. And
so many resources,
incredible,
and you just need to spend time there to know about it.
Exactly. Oh my word, we're back here. So let's try and close it. There we go.
Yay!
Yay. Okay, so back into Voyager, because that's where we were. We've looked at quizzes. Layers, again, looks at how the Earth has changed depending on what you would like to be looking at. So it could be farming, for example, how the land has changed from farming, deforestation, any of those things. The polar ice caps, how they're
melting,
being affected.
Yes.
Exactly. So that's the layers option. Street view, again, it's just like your normal Google Maps one where you can go in anywhere and have a look. And what I liked particularly about this, if we scroll down, we can actually go and discover Egypt.
Oh, yes.
So that was really cool for me. So you can go and take your class on a virtual voyage to Egypt today.
Yeah.
From your classroom.
And you didn't even prep it. It's just there waiting for you.
It's just there.
You just need coach in the class to tell you.
Exactly. Just to go and have a little play in this. Culture, again, is looking at history and current events, things that are happening currently. So following the Tokyo torch, because that's current at the moment. Looking at Black pioneers, mostly in America, but activists, etc. In America, if that's a topic you're particularly doing. Art history, again, it's not particularly just primary school oriented. It's for any level. Apollo, because that's what the grade, I think the grade 4s are doing in term 4.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So here's a great place to come and look for some virtual things and some historical tours. Travel, that's pretty self-explanatory, going on a virtual holiday.
Oh, that's about all we can do at the moment. So maybe this is what we should do. Go armchair to France.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then lastly, the education one is obviously where you're going to find.
Oh, look at that triangular structure for the bridges for grade 4. Hey?
Oh, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And geometry, architecture. And then I thought of you with your slavery, the Underground Railroad.
Perfect. Look at that. I didn't even know the source was here.
I know, it's amazing. So there's a lot of curated.
Voyages of Discovery, James Cook's first voyage.
Exactly. So there's incredible curated material here.
Oh, just waiting for us.
Get Lucky is just randomly, maybe you've got 5 minutes at the end of the day and you just want to go and explore something. Yeah, well, I'm just thinking in your classroom.
Yeah.
You just
end of the day. Let's go and see. Yes.
Get Lucky, and it takes you to somewhere and
something new. Yeah.
And you can find out something interesting about a new place. I love that. I think growing general knowledge is incredibly important.
And to just jump all over the world and make the world our oyster. And because it is such a small place, this helps us make it smaller.
Exactly. Projects is what I really want to show you, because this is where I really had an amazing time and where I've used it for our Coach in the Class material. So I've created a project in there. You can create new projects somewhere. When you open projects, it's asked you if you want to create a project. And I've created this project all about ancient Egypt and travel with Amira and Cyril as they explore Egypt. And this was just really for me to play in here to see if kids could curate something like this. So if you are using the grade 5 material from Coach in the Class, and you see the EdTech option in lesson 1 is Google Earth. This is what kids can curate here. And as they go on the journey with Sibu and Amira, they can create a similar thing. So just to go and play in here, I've started off with a slide. I'll show you in a minute how to create that. And this is just an introductory slide to show you, kind of what's going on here. And then I'm actually going to present it, so that'll show you a bit better. It presents this entire experience that you have curated. So kids can curate this.
Yes.
So
you flying from Joburg to
so
awesome.
we're starting off at OR Tambo, and you can go and choose this. And in fact, instead of having that little card, the normal little card that they have about OR Tambo, I found a virtual tour video around OR Tambo, and I've put that in here instead. I'm a bit scared to play it.
No, don't move on in case it takes too long.
And then I have shown they've flown off from OR Tambo all across Africa, and you can see how you've integrated map work in here as well. To Cairo International Airport, and again, we're having a stop there. And we're going to stop in Cairo International Airport, and there's some information here about it. And so we go to the Egyptian Museum, and here we've curated a little bit more content about the Egyptian Museum. We literally can add anything we like here. So I'm going to go and quickly edit this. And the way that I do that is I can add a new feature over here. It's pretty simple. I do new feature. I might want to add in a new slide, or I want to add some new feature there that is an actual place. So I'm going to go into my, go in closer to my journey. And of course, I know that they're going to be visiting Giza and the pyramids and the Sphinx there. And I am going to add something over here. I'm going to add the Great Sphinx to this, and I'm going to save it. And now that is part of my journey. It is at the bottom here at the moment somewhere, and I can very easily just drag it up into the place where I want it. And when I get there, I can edit this. I can add in a different picture, and this I can get off Google. So you can see how the kids can curate this.
So, Rob, this looks difficult, but you just worked it all out as you were going along.
It really wasn't difficult.
And you bumped your head a few times, but you've created the most fabulous lesson.
Yeah, so I can go and have a look here. I'm going to find, I quite like that picture, and I'm going to select it and add it into my card over here. And I can say here, Amira, Amira's got a lot of E's in it. Amira and Sibu meet the stone mason here. And so this is what kids can do. And then I can just...
So you're actually creating your own here, but I'm sure Google has a lot of pre-made ones that I could just steal if I found the right one.
Yeah, as a teacher, yes. But obviously, I'm thinking more of as a student, because that's what I've asked the grade 5s to do. I've actually asked them to use Google Earth to curate the journey of Amira and Sibu. If you're a ZTech class, you've got a map
and you're mapping
it, drawing it
from Cairo to whatever, and then I think you're going down to Luxor and that kind of thing.
Exactly. But obviously, this is a much richer experience because the kids can really go and investigate and get stuck into Egypt and what it was about. So that's why I loved this tool.
And I love being in the real country. It's not just a piece of paper. I'm there, and I can see where it's green around the Nile and where it's, how big the Nile is in relation to the land. It's not a line on a page.
Exactly.
It's real. I really love that.
Exactly. So that's I've created in projects, and it really, really was pretty simple, nothing too difficult there. at all. Then just looking at a few more features, this is the layers feature, and it can tell us, you can kind of reset it into kind of what you want your map to look like. So we might choose clean, in which case there's not loads of labels. If we put everything in, there's all sorts of stuff here, or we can customize it and say what we'd like to show on our maps. And so that's just more like a cleaning up tool. Then I loved the measurement tool. Oh my word, this was the most fun, because a little while ago, Helen burst my bubble when she said, takes about 17 minutes to get from Cairo to Giza. And I was like,
no, it's way out in the desert. It's far away.
It's far away. It's in the middle of nowhere. And Helen was like, I've actually been there. So I haven't been
I
there.
think I was so surprised at just how close it was to Cairo. Because like I thought we were going to travel for a day, and the next thing, hello, get out the bus, we're here.
Exactly. So I thought this would be fun to actually measure how far it is away. So from the actual, you can do this.
Oh, to Giza, and it shows you. Look at that.
And then I'm actually going to travel into the Egyptian Museum, and you can be quite accurate because you can follow the road.
Yes.
And there we can see it's 14 kilometers.
Oh, and remember, Amira and Cebu are following some stolen artifacts that have been missing from the Cairo Museum, which has led them to the Giza pyramids and is later going to take them down to Luxor.
Exactly. And so, Helen, really what I wanted to say about this Google Earth tool is that it is incredibly rich and lends itself to all sorts of subject material, history, geography, obvious things, science, life skills, life orientation, art, music. It is incredibly rich, and it really allows you to integrate various subjects and sort of kind of draw those connections between things.
I love the realness of it, to actually see what's going on.
Totally.
And I love where you flew from South Africa over Africa to Egypt, because now I know a sense of where Cairo is, because suddenly we're doing Egypt. And as a young kid, I probably didn't know where that was. I thought it was on the tip of South America or something, you know.
Yes.
And now, because we have all of this at our disposal, we need to use it.
Absolutely.
Because it is just there.
Absolutely. And as you said, gives everything context. And the fact that we live in a country where a lot of children and a lot of families will never leave the city that they live in.
Yes.
Or the rural area they live in, to be able to explore the globe literally from your desktop is incredible.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, I'm going to take an armchair trip tonight where it had travel, and I'm going to travel somewhere and spend 15 minutes in some lovely European country, dreaming that I'm in the sun, because we ain't going nowhere fast.
I'm wondering if you'll only be there for 15 minutes.
True. I think this is an awesome product, and I'm so glad we've shown and just reminded you to go and play in Google Earth.
No, totally.
Yeah.
So Helen, I don't know if I'm going to do this right. I'm going to try in a minute to do this. Let's see if I'm going to get it right over here. I'm trying hard. Let's see.
So yes, we got it. So today we spoke about Google Earth, which we can see on the extreme left. We're not doing Coaching the Class tomorrow. We're hopping to Canva to talk about Canva, but more importantly, Canva for education and how you can assign things straight from Canva to Google Classroom or individually from the Canva platform.
And the fact that it's free for teachers.
And so kids get your free benefit because they log into your account. You create a classroom and they come into your classroom and use all your free stuff, and they're all safe because they're working within your account, which is so awesome. So that's tomorrow. Don't miss that at 3:00. And then on Friday, we'll just talk about what Coaching the Class is created for term 3. And what are we doing? What is our aim? What are we about? So that you can get a better idea of these two chicks.
And also the practical aspect of how do we get into our stuff and how do you buy it? Because we know you want to buy it.
Well, I'm so pleased at how many people have jumped on the bandwagon and bought it, because it really is awesome. So until tomorrow, thank you for joining us. I hope you learned a lot about Google Earth. Let's look.